Welcome to this short yin class where we'll focus on the fronts and backs of the legs, front and back of the torso. So you can join me in seated. If you'd like to sit on a blanket, you can also do that. Have some pillows handy as well, if you'd like. And then have a seat and extend the right leg out. Other foot can come to the inseam. Turn toward the long leg, and perhaps you pour your body forward. Maybe you also choose a tall spine. So decide here or somewhere in between. And bolsters or pillows could go on the lap here so that you can staff your fists and make a little support for the head as an option. So decide where you'd like to land. And we'll stay. Sinking right into our practice today. You might soften the foot of that extended leg, as long as there's no hyperextension in the knee. And sense into the back line. Where do you feel this? Really breathe into the back. You can expand through the rib cage. Maybe you press that left shin closer to the earth. Maybe you walk your fingertips out a little further, only if it feels right for you. Inhale wide and exhale fully. Again, use the breath to support sensation of stretch or lengthening. One more inhale. And exhale to start to walk those hands in and roll up through the spine. And pause. Notice how the back feels. The back of the right leg. And switch sides. Left leg extends. Other sole of foot to inseam of long leg. Press as much or as little as you wish that right shin down. Straw for the flex foot to play here with the degree of lean. And to decide if you'd like some pillows to round over. And once you've found your position, you can soften that foot if the knee is happy. The ground through the pelvis. While you inhale, and the breath brings a sense of lightness into the upper body. If things have shifted for you and you need a little more, reach those fingertips a little further in front of you. Long spine to then fold. Again, expand through the ribs. Back of the ribs. Like an internal massage. Inhale. Long exhale. One more inhale. And as you breathe out, walk or slide those hands in to stack the spine. And come back to center and settle. Draw that left leg in. Both knees come toward the chest. Wrap your arms around yourself. Round through the spine. And start to lean back as the hands clasp the shins. You round the back. And again, breathe here into the shoulder blade area. And allow the arms to lengthen, the hands to do the work here. And then inhale to sit up tall. And exhale to lengthen both legs. Arms can reach up, and perhaps you fold forward. Full caterpillar. One more inhale here. And exhale to again stack the spine. Hands come behind the bodies. You rebend the knees and lift through the heart. Then come back to center. You can cross your legs again, only to interlace the fingers if able, and open across the chest for a moment. Take the gaze where you will. And release that and roll onto the belly. You could use the blanket underneath the pelvis. It's been a favorite of mine lately. And come into Sphinx to open up the front line of the body. And this would be kind of the most gentle in the saddle archetype, would be right here. So you could choose to stay here. Or maybe you want to bring things more into the quad, to the front of the leg. So you can bend that right knee and clasp the ankle. And the head could be down here. And press front of pelvis and leg into the earth as hand presses into ankle, but ankle and shin press back. And we'll stay here for a time. Not as long in this one. We'll do some switching back and forth. Few more breaths. Lengthen the breath out. That might intensify the sensation of opening across the front line. Release that leg if you had it, and come back into the Sphinx on the forearms. And if this isn't enough, for most of us this is, but if it isn't, you can turn the fingers out and lengthen the arms and come into seal. Few more breaths. More inhale and exhale to lower. And we'll take the left shin and clasp it. A minute or so on this side. And press the pelvis down. And presses into hand presses back, these counter forces. It's a little longer here. More inhale. And exhale to release that leg. And come up again into Sphinx. So although we keep switching, we're really still working on front line. So we are spending several minutes on front line with some different movement patterns. Come into seal if you'd like. A few breaths here. More inhale. And exhale to lower. If you have that blanket, roll into one side and remove the blanket. And then return onto the belly. And come into Sphinx without the blanket to see what that's like. Maybe you'd like to explore that seal without the blanket. Maybe, maybe not. This could intensify it. And then return to the earth. And we'll again clasp the right ankle. But this time, roll onto your side, onto your left side. See if this is more ease-filled than being on your belly. Can also take bottom leg and cross it. And press that hip forward. One more inhale. And exhale to release any crossing or clasp. Extend the right leg. Reach same hand overhead. Those toes of the right foot might come to the earth as you stretch out through the psoas, again through the front here. And lift through the bottom waist a bit, and that can help bring sensation of stretch. And from here, roll onto the belly. Again, lift up perhaps into that Sphinx or a little seal. I shouldn't say little, seal. And lower back down and roll onto your right side as you clasp left ankle. And you could cross that bottom ankle over the top thigh, or the front thigh rather. Press that left thigh into that crossed leg. Press the hip forward. A few more breaths here. One more inhale. And as you exhale, uncross, lengthen that left leg and shift Hopefully from behind you can see this a little bit better. Shift left leg further behind or closer to the body as needed. Lengthen top arm. If you're tighten the psoas, you'll know it. It has a deep connection to tension in the back as well as the front line. More inhale and exhale to release that. And again, roll onto the belly, only to slide the hands in to press yourself back into a child's pose. It could be closed leg here so that we get more of a stretch in the back, allowing the back to round. If this doesn't feel good, you could be on your back with your knees into your chest. Really breathe into the low back. Let it unwind. More inhale here. And exhale to come into tabletop. And tuck the toes, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. So stretch the backs of the legs. If you pedal the feet and play with the distance of the feet to the hands. So when the heels head toward the earth, doesn't mean they're going to get there. Get more of a stretch on the back of the legs. Really press through the hands. And then from here, you can walk your hands in. It's a little more active. This is just an option. This is very deep. So this isn't for everyone. Just decide if it's for you. Knees could be bent or legs long, and we can hang here in the fold for a little longer than we usually do. Can also stack a whole bunch of pillows or bolsters under the hands. And if this doesn't serve you, this is just the shape that we've been in earlier, flipped. So you could come back to sitting and you're in the exact same shape. This is just more intense tractioning the back. A few more breaths. Just notice your experience as we continue to return to different areas of the body. Or just take a different variation with the same target area. Just notice over time what happens if things deepen. One more inhale here. And if you are in standing, lower the knees to the earth. And shift your weight onto your sits bones where we'll meet. From what was caterpillar, if you were in caterpillar, you can plant your feet, come onto the forearms, lift through the heart, and slide the arms long to come to the earth. And you might choose today to do legs up to continue to get that bit of stretch through the backs of the legs. So this would be for your Savasana. So with legs up, you could take a pillow underneath the pelvis and send the legs up to the sky for a nice little inversion here. Legs could also be against the wall. We'll just stay here for a short time. Let everything just drain away. The shoulders to heavy, back of skull, grounded. And from wherever you are, you might wiggle the fingers and toes. You might draw those knees into the chest, and that bolster will help you to kind of round through the low back or pillow. Mhm. Replant the feet, lift the hips, remove any pillows. And one final opening for the front line, press the arms into the earth. We'll kind of let the ribs flare. Usually we draw them in, just let them flare. And then lower right back down. Again, maybe a final knee hug if it calls to you before you roll onto your favorite side. When you're ready, impress yourself up to a seated position. Reach those arms overhead. And bring the hands to heart center. I hope you enjoyed that shorter version of yin and that you have a wonderful day. Sat Nam.